The Ark Church Choir. Great job. Thank you for starting with a song. Welcome to the official grand opening of the Ronald McDonald House, the house that love built and the house that love built bigger. My name is Jerry Sandusky, voice of the Ravens, sportscaster from WBAL TV, but the real reason I am here is I am Leanne Sandusky's husband, and she is one of the amazing women who volunteer on the Women's Committee. So my girls on the Women's Committee, today is a day about vision and compassion. The vision to create what you see. The English language is filled with words that perfectly describe the experiences we have, and sometimes they are short words. Look around you, and I think you will embrace the word wow. This is a wow moment. A moment that took $34 million to create, an unbelievable vision to see this in a part of town that was overlooked, on a piece of property that showed no promise, on a project that was filled with headaches. But the leaders of this organization had the vision to see past all of that and the compassion to create the home you see behind us. This is not a building, it is a home. You will hear from many of the people that are involved in the Ronald McDonald House today. But today, I want you to tap into vision, and I want you to see the people who will one day use this home. They are people who do not at the moment know they will need the Ronald McDonald House. Somewhere in this state, somewhere in this country, somewhere in this world is a family, a mother and a father, who are going to receive word that the only place on the planet where they can get the medical care needed for their child, the only place on God's earth, is Baltimore, Maryland. Some of them will not know where Baltimore, Maryland is when they get that news. They will come here. Some will pray for a miracle. Some will experience grief. Some will celebrate the start of a new life in this house. Some will share the misery of the death of their child. But all of those experiences that span the spectrum of human emotion will be shared as a family. Through the power of being together, through the sacredness of the family unit, they will celebrate, they will cry, they will dream, they will stay together, and they will see a brighter day. And that is all because of the great leadership of this organization. You know, we live in a town that, if you're not from Baltimore and you travel, people say Baltimore and they flinch. I know about the flinch with a name like Jerry Sandusky. I recognize the flinch. But let them see the Ronald McDonald House, and they will stop flinching. In a week when we celebrate the second jewel of the Triple Crown, we also celebrate the new jewel of Baltimore. And you are part of that today. It's my job to just quick thank yous for some of the people. And at these moments, you recognize, didn't get all of the names that I wanted on the list. The first list I'm supposed to thank is XX from Senator Chris Van Hollen's office. So XX, thanks so much for being here today. The representative, there it is, XX, ladies and gentlemen. Looking fly, by the way. Somebody just got a new nickname, right? You won't believe what happened at the Ronald McDonald House. Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford is here. Baltimore's new mayor, Jack Young. Dr. Nancy Grasmick, former state school superintendent who built the #1 public school system in America. Baltimore City Fire Chief, Niles Ford. Councilman Robert Stokes. Delegate Brooke Learman. Delegate Bill Ferguson, and our new City Council President, Brandon Scott. Vision and compassion are two separate and distinctly different skills, and if anybody has one of them, it's a powerful thing. When one person has both, they are a true leader, and they galvanize a community because people come together. Several years ago, my wife said I was going to be MC of the Ronald McDonald fundraiser. And I looked at her and I said, why? And she said, 2 reasons. 1, I'm telling you to do that. And 2, Sandy Pagnotti. Drop the mic. That's a sales pitch right there. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO, the woman of vision and compassion, Sandy Pagnotti.
Hi, oh, man, don't do this. Sit down. Don't start. Thank you very much. That's really nice. Don't do that. I have some things I have to say. And I'll get emotional. And also, I stand here representing a whole lot of other people. So thank you. So here we are. I can't believe we're really here. This is such an exciting day. And people keep asking me today, how do you feel? How do you feel? How are you feeling? And I feel joyful. I feel proud and joyful and celebratory. And I told someone, the reasons that bring people to the Ronald McDonald House are never happy ones. But we hope that the experience they have here is as joyful as it can be, and there is so much to be said for community, true community. And that's what we celebrate today, is all the people that really made today happen. So before we begin, I always like to set our intention. So we're going to set our intention today by remembering why we're here and who we're doing this for. And we have with us several of our current and alumni families, so I would like to ask them to stand, because this is really what it's all about. So these are our families. This is who we do it. You are the reason we do this. Every action we take, every decision we make is for you. And through the years, we listened to all your feedback and hopefully incorporated all that. And we hope that the new house brings respite and comfort and fun. And I was telling someone earlier, Elizabeth, who you'll hear from later, has been coming here for 10 years. And one of the coolest things was, about a month ago, we had a slumber party for all the alumni families. And Elizabeth started coming to us when she was 4. And the first thing I saw was Elizabeth hanging out in the teen room. And I was like, it was just really great. All right, so let us begin. At the Ronald McDonald House, our collective capacity to love and to serve is always limited. It's always unlimited. But our limits these past years have been bricks and mortar. And today that changes. So I brought with you my handy wait list that I've been carrying. So for you to understand the magnitude of today, I wanted to remind you of the need. So this is this ratty yellow folder, and it didn't start out so ratty, but I carry it to a lot of events to express what the need is. This represents the wait list on the day we decided to build the house. And in this list are these names. They're the stories of the children that we couldn't help that day. Avery from Tennessee, who had a spinal cord injury. Cassandra from New Jersey, who needed chemo. Keegan from Texas, who needed brain surgery. And Ruben and Aisha and Grace and Alana and Iris and Emma and William and Genesis and Jason and Lincoln and Devin. I just named 14 names. In this folder on that day were 35 names on that day that we couldn't help. In that year, there were 653. These children never stayed with us physically, but they have stayed with us from day one, inspiring us and motivating us why we built a house so that we would never have to say no to any of them to make this go away. Because of this yellow folder and a big bold question from my friend Stacy Ulrich over here, the staff and board decided to embark on a big, ambitious dream to build a new Ronald McDonald House to make the wait list go away. And at the time, I remember somebody telling me that I had a healthy disregard for the impossible. But what was really impossible was what we were dealing with every day, which was having to say no to families who needed us. And it was impossible to keep going knowing that we weren't fulfilling the Ronald McDonald House mission at the highest level. And it was impossible to ignore this growing yellow folder. But thanks to all of you and the generosity and the time of so many people, we are here standing in front of our house that looks exactly like the rendering, I might add. So it was very, very possible. Yep, okay. So today the dream is reality. Today the wait list is history. Today we breathe life and love and laughter into the bricks and mortar. And today, every family in crisis will hear welcome home when they need us. But I will say the one thing that really is impossible is saying thank you to everybody. And for me to stand up here and acknowledge every person who's been part of this project, it is impossible. We've given you all have these handy guidebooks that give you all the information about the house, but there's also lots and lots of names in there. We hope that you take a few minutes to really read through. It's our way to acknowledge in some way. But there's so many people to thank. And I think that as a team, our hope is that the house is actually our thank you to you, and a proof to everybody that we've been good stewards of your time and your talent and your treasure, and what you've put in, we've stewarded into this beautiful house that's going to serve people for generations to come. And that's really the thank you and the legacy that we hope you all hang on to. This one might be hard for me, but it seems appropriate that the word, I can't look at Bill. I just decided I can't look at him. I'm looking over him. The word philanthropy is rooted in the Greek language. Philanthropia in Greek means kindliness, humanity, benevolent, love to mankind. Phil meaning loving, anthropos meaning mankind. Loving mankind. I can think of no better description of Bill Paterakis, our campaign chair and the heart and soul of this new house, than loving mankind. Now, if I flip it and say, loving that kind man, that's all of us at the Ronald McDonald House and everybody in the community who loves you, not just because you almost single-handedly raised the $34 million we needed for this house, not just because you and your family have given us millions, but because you are kind and humble and benevolent and loving of mankind, and because you always make it all about the kids. And so Bill will never make it about him, but I'll say it, I know it, you know it, we all know it. We wouldn't all be here without Bill Paterakis, and I would like him, he's who you stand for. And if you haven't seen it, again, that is impossible to thank Bill, but we tried to do something really different. So when you go in the house, if you haven't been in there already, over the fireplace is kind of a tribute, and it's cool and it's fun, but the piece is called "It's All About the Kids," and it's an honor, a tribute to Bill. But what is my favorite thing about it is how much already the kids love it, because it's fun and whimsical, and so please make sure you take a look. Is Chuck here? Okay. To Melissa, our board chair, and our full board of directors, you believed in us, you acted, you supported, you made it happen with us. You are our biggest cheerleaders, but you're never on the sideline. And I call our board the BBB. Every email I send is to the BBB, the best board in Baltimore. And they are, I would venture to say, the BBUS, the BBW, best board in the world. So, but everything you do, in every way you show your support for the team and for this mission. So thank you all to our board. And to our building committee led by Tim O'Donnell, who's awesome. Scott Spencer, the enforcer back there. And Irene and Mike and Adam and Todd and Peter and Isaac and Derek. There's so many others along the way. Everybody's in the program book. I wish I could mention everybody, but we made it. And you have shepherded the Ronald McDonald House team through this brave new world of construction and development. They talked me off some really high ledges along the way, and I am so grateful. And I would say that even because I would ask things like, is this normal? Is this a normal thing to happen? And I would say that even by construction and design industry standards, this project was a doozy, and that this quarter acre of land is probably one of the most complicated pieces of Baltimore there is to us. So, but you hung in there with us, and you drove us and guided us, and I'm very, very grateful. To the good people of Jonestown, where is Dwight? There's Dwight. Okay, Dwight is the mayor of Jonestown. You're the mayor of the city, but Dwight is the mayor of Jonestown. So when we decided to come here, We promise to be good neighbors, to view your children as our children, and to be a catalyst of growth and change in this community. From the early planning meetings right down the street in the basement of the St. Vincent de Paul Church, you took a big leap of faith with us. You made sure that we knew what the community expected of us. And in turn, you, Dwight, made sure that the community knew we were the real deal. And we are forever grateful for that. There's a lot of tough stories about Baltimore lately. And a good friend of mine who's on this stage, Rachel Monroe, recently wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post about changing the narrative of our city, talking about the good things, the positive things. And so I'd like to think that this house, this transitional community, the public-private partnership that built the park that's adjacent to us, and the big, red, 26-foot-tall, iconic glowing heart on our rooftop are good things and positive things that's going on in the city. And to our RMH team, everything I say is on behalf of all of us. The past few years have stretched our very small team to the max. But I am hopeful that our families would tell you that our love and care and support of them never changed, that they didn't feel everything, all the change that was happening. So I'm always the one standing on the stage in front of you, but standing beside me are always Susan Salt and Debbie Hood. We are the Three Musketeers. We are dear friends and partners. We have hung on to each other, and more importantly, we've hung on to the mission and the vision. So I am super proud of our entire team. I'm grateful to our entire extended team, but Debbie and Susan are my sisters, and we stand here as a unit in front of you. Our house is shiny and new, but our hearts are steady and purposeful. And we are so excited to show you the inside of the house. You've got these handy guidebooks in your little packets. But before we do that, we do have a few folks to share the celebration with us this morning. And I'm going to start by introducing one of my very good friends, the lovely Sofia, and her brother Toby.
Hi, my name is Sofia Williams. I have one sister, Charlotte, a brother, Logan, and this is my other brother, Toby. We are from Mechanicsville, Maryland. When Toby was born at 23 weeks, he weighed 1 pound, 2 ounces, and spent his first 127 days in the hospital. While Toby was in the hospital, our family stayed together at the Ronald McDonald house. Even with many medical challenges, Toby is doing great. He is 5 years old, funny, happy, and loving. We have been coming to the Ronald McDonald house for 5 years and still come back many times a year for his therapy and doctor's visits. The volunteers and staff are part of our life and part of our family. This house isn't just a house, it's a community holding each other up with love and hope in the hardest of times. The Ronald McDonald house helped us to keep us together when Toby was so small and so sick. And for that, my family will always be grateful. I am so proud to represent all of the brothers and sisters who come to RMH for a hard or sad reason and leave with friends from all over the world. Right now, I'd like to introduce one of those friends, my friend Emma and her mom, Maureen.
Good morning. My name is Maureen Null. This is my daughter, Amanda. I'm sorry. I do have a daughter, Amanda. This is my daughter, Emma. Sorry. Tad nervous. This is my story, though. Excuse me. On Christmas Eve 2012, we were in a terrible car accident. Emma, who was 4 at the time, suffered a traumatic brain injury and did not wake up for 4 weeks. Unlike in the movies where people wake up and everything is back to normal, that is not how it was with Emma. When Emma woke up, she had to relearn to sit up, swallow, eat, walk, and talk. Emma was basically a newborn who lacked head control in a 4-year-old's body. Emma was only able to get 1 hour of combined physical and occupational therapy once a week. I knew this 1 hour of therapy was not enough to get her back to where she was prior to the accident. I started my search, and my search led me to the best place in the world for care, Baltimore. Emma was accepted into a 4-week program at the Kennedy Krieger Institute that dealt with children with traumatic brain injuries. When we first came to Baltimore, the Ronald McDonald House was full, and I would drive 2 hours each way, Monday through Friday, for Emma to attend this specialized program. Emma was making great progress, and Kennedy Krieger wanted to extend our stay. Luckily, we got off the wait list and into Ronald McDonald's house for 6 weeks. In July of 2013, we had come to Baltimore, Since July of 2013, we have come back many times to Baltimore for Emma to have follow-up appointments. Prior to us coming to Baltimore, Emma had lost her sparkle, or desire to do things. She rarely smiled, as she could remember things that she could do before the accident that she could no longer do. Even easy tasks like coloring were difficult for her, and she would get easily frustrated. When I brought Emma home after her first week of being at the Ronald McDonald House, my husband and both parents commented how happy she seemed. Her sparkle was back in her eyes. I could take all day to tell you how proud I am of Emma and how far she has come. The first time we came to Ronald McDonald's house, Emma was in a wheelchair and crawled to get around the playroom. Her speech was hard to understand, as she was just relearning to speak. Emma left Baltimore that summer using a walker and no longer relying on a wheelchair to get around.
Hi, I am Emma. I'm 10 years old and I am a 5th grade honors student at Tomahawk Intermediate School. I have participated in the past 6 registry shuffles. The last 3 I have competed them on my own, and this year I finished in under an hour.
On behalf of all the families who have been on the wait list and hope to never be on it again, please join Emma and I in welcoming Lieutenant Governor of Maryland, Boyd Rutherford.
I didn't realize I was following that. And also the fact that I'm cold. I don't know about anybody else. I put away my winter stuff. I was telling the mayor, you know, both of us don't have much hair, so the wind's blowing on the back of my bald head. So I'm going to be short. I'm not going to take long, but it is wonderful to be here, wonderful to hear those stories. You know, I can't think of a better way. And initially when I came out this morning, I saw something that I hadn't seen in a while, and it was called the sun. And I was going to say it was a wonderful, you know, way to welcome back the sun. It came for a moment and then it's gone again. Maybe it'll come back. But to the grand opening of this wonderful, new, beautiful Ronald McDonald House. It's just great to be here on this occasion. I want to thank the Ronald McDonald House, the children, the families, you know, that come here from all over the state, the city, to have a home away from home while dealing with tough medical diagnosis and treatments. You know, so having a place to get away and to be greeted with a friendly, smiling face, a warm meal, and just some time to be family and to be kids again really makes all the difference in the world. And you know, this new facility, which is 7 years in the making, is possible, it makes it possible to provide a difference in the lives of thousands of children, not only in Maryland, but throughout the country, who are undergoing life-saving medical treatment. You know, it has a positive impact on our state and something that just can't be understated. I'd like to thank Sandy Pagnotti, and of course, Bill Paterakis and everyone from Ronald McDonald House and everyone who has been a part of making this a reality. So congratulations again. We're proud to have you here and grateful for the work that you do for these kids and their families. I have a governor's citation that I'd like to present. I guess, Sandy, if you could come up and I'll. Had the mayor help me out on that. That's great. So I'd like to present this Ronald McDonald House Grand Opening Celebrations. Greetings, be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of the newest state-of-the-art Ronald McDonald House Grand Opening Ceremony, with congratulations on this celebratory event, providing the ability to meet the growing demand of the most effective and compassionate family-centered care in the world. And as our citizens join in expressing our best wishes and grateful appreciation for the positive impact this new house will have on the lives and recovery of children seeking life-saving medical attention, we're pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation, signed this day, Lawrence J. Hogan, Jr., Governor, myself, Lieutenant Governor, and John C. Wilbur-Smith, Secretary of State.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, we'll step over here.
So the weather, by the way, is by design because we figured out if you keep it chilly and cold, politicians will shorten their comments, and we've got a lot of politicians. So I think you're seeing there is a plan behind this. God is on our side. And I'm not underdressed. The shoes, I had a foot injury. Please, I don't want to get crushed on social media. Why was he wearing sneakers? Hey, Ronald McDonald wears sneakers, so can I. At this point, we'd like to invite Francine and Zion Campbell to come on up.
Good morning. My name is Francine Campbell, and this is my son, Zion. Zion was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia, a very painful disease, at 3 months old. He has had 4 strokes and 2 brain surgeries. We came to Johns Hopkins from New York in September of 2013 and stayed at the Ronald McDonald House for 10 months. When Zion was here, he earned the nickname, the mayor of the Ronald McDonald House, because of his friendly personality and how much he loved the other children. Once, someone asked him, why was he the mayor of the Ronald McDonald House? And he answered simply, because I'm kind. We are honored to be here today to remind everyone that in hard times, you can still find joy in the journey. My son Zion is representing the children with lifelong medical challenges who courageously face each day with a smile on their face and love in their hearts. Zion?
As the mayor of the Ronald McDonald House, I'd like to introduce the mayor of Baltimore, Mr. Jack Young.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Wow, what a great day. Before I get started, I want to acknowledge Councilwoman Sneed, who have joined us as well. I think Jerry didn't see you over there, but Sandy, thank you for your vision. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention John Padarakis, because without him, Bill, JP, Chuck, you wouldn't be able to do what you do. So people oftentimes forget those who have laid the groundwork for us. And Mr. Padarakis had met with me one day and told me that they was going to try to move the Ronald McDonald House from downtown to over here. And I was like, wow, way out over there. And I never thought that it would be right here in the 12th District. But I want to tell you, Ronald McDonald House, and when I was a kid, I used to say, I want to live in there. Not knowing that it was for children that were sick, you know, and had illnesses. But I grew to love that place because of the work that they do with families from around the country, even here in Baltimore, where they make a house a home. And that's what our families are looking for. And when I did the tour with Robert Stokes, Bill, and Alex, I was blown away. I said, this looked like one of those grand hotels in Las Vegas. That's how it looked. And when I looked at the kitchens, they got a kitchen almost on every floor. I'm like, wow. You know, and I like to bake. And I said, well, maybe I'll come down and bake some stuff in them ovens up there. But I just want to thank all of the sponsors, anyone that had anything to do with building this. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. And when you go in there to see the tours, you're going to be blown away. So I want to give a pitch. Any of you out there who have a checkbook that you have some extra cash that you want to donate, make sure you donate it to the Ronald McDonald House, because that money is well spent. You heard all of the families that came up and talked about how the Ronald McDonald House have helped them. So we, as citizens of the state of Maryland, because I don't know where everybody is from, but I do know this, that you all have money in your pocketbooks. You all have money in your wallets. So dig deep and let's help Ronald McDonald House. And for the XX person from Van Hollen's office, that's Obi. Stand up, Obi. And again, because I know it's cold out here, I had so much more to say. But I just want to end by recognizing the President of the City Council one more time. Council President Brandon Scott, if he would stand. Just thank you for your support and your help as well. And all of the council people. Councilman Pinkett, was you acknowledged? Councilman Pinkett, could you stand up? Let me tell you something. I can't do my work without the city council. And I remember when I was council president, how the mayor would get up and give the grandiose speech, and we sit back and say, Dad, we did the work. And I used to say that all the time. So I'm going to always recognize the president of the city council, because I still need that help. But anyway, thank you all, and thank you for inviting me here. And I look forward to walking in again to see all the great work that has been done. Thank you.
So as you can tell, this is very much a family event. The soul of the Ronald McDonald House is family, and it's my privilege to introduce you to one of the really wonderful families who I've had the great joy to get to know in the last couple of years. Please say hello to Greg and Stephanie Kenny and their amazing son. This is what the Ronald McDonald House, these are what the Ronald McDonald House is all about.
Hello and happy Ronald McDonald House Day. 4 years ago, Greg was 17 years old, a happy, healthy high school senior, and very active in theater and sports. He and my husband had trained all year long to go for the summer of 2015 and participate in the Rock and Roll Marathon in Virginia Beach, Virginia. On September the 6th, 2015, just past the 12th mile marker, my beautiful son suffered sudden cardiac death. We have been told that there was no medical reason why it happened, and we may never know the cause. But Greg is a miracle. The first miracle was that he survived after 15 minutes of no oxygen or blood to his brain. The second miracle was that we found Kennedy Krieger and the Ronald McDonald House. We stayed here 277 days the first time, and we often come back several times a year for therapy and medical treatments. Greg is regaining his speech. He can stand up. He is back to performing in shows, and he truly loves the Ronald McDonald House, Sandy, Susan, Debbie, and all of the angels that work so hard to serve the families that stay in the house. We are so honored to be here today representing thousands of families whose lives have been turned upside down by sudden accidents, injuries, or medical events. On behalf of the families that would never have imagined ever needing the Ronald McDonald House, we are so proud to be here to introduce Rachel Monroe of the Weinberg Foundation. The enormity of your $5 million gift is overwhelming and will be transformative for thousands of families for decades to come. Before Greg collapsed, he had performed in over 60 musicals, and he was a star of the theater and stage, so he is right at home on stage. I'm going to turn it over to Greg.
Miss Rachel, thank you so much for being our friend. We truly appreciate you. And thank you so much to the Weinberg Foundation for always blessing and keeping us and caring and supporting us. It truly blesses my heart to welcome this wonderful lady. So please join me in welcoming the wonderful, the generous, the lovely Miss Rachel Monroe.
While Greg's getting seated, I just want to note Greg's amazing shoes, Jerry.
He's killing me when he shoots.
So I think we all know how extraordinary it is that Greg just stood up and spoke to all of us, given what he has gone through and what a fighter he is. And it is we, Greg, who thank you. So I had a different speech prepared, and then Sandy, because Sandy's really good at making me cry, which I'm going to not do this morning, sent me the video that Greg and his family are in. And if you haven't seen the video, I encourage you to watch it with a box of Kleenex. So the speech is over, and the new speech I wrote after watching that is the speech for all of the Gregs and Emmas and Tobys and Zions. This is the house for the Gregs and all of the others who have cancer, were born too early, have sickle cell disease, have strokes, and have rare illnesses difficult to diagnose and treat. This is the house for the Gregs who need longer legs and stronger hearts, who need to learn how to swallow, eat, talk, and walk yet again. These Gregs have been in car accidents, ski accidents, and unimaginable accidents. These Gregs are babies, toddlers, teenagers, and young adults. We as parents love our Gregs and want to protect them and have them find health and happiness. We as a community have an obligation and responsibility to take care of our most vulnerable. This obligation and responsibility mirrors very well the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg's mission. All we do is provide grants to nonprofits that support low-income and vulnerable individuals with housing, health, jobs, and education. So now you may understand why the Weinberg Foundation's grant to the Ronald McDonald House is among the largest grants in the Foundation's almost 30-year history. I am here today representing many from the Weinberg Foundation, and I'm going to ask them all to stand for a moment just so you know how much this matters to us as a foundation. A special shout out to Amy Klein, who worked on this grant and really helped make it happen. My family has volunteered at the house for almost 15 years. I remember the first time we made dinner. I remember the family we sat with, and I pray for them today. 16 months ago, the Ronald McDonald House became a personal story for me too. I don't know how many moms are here, other than those we've heard from, who are amazing, who have children fighting for their health, children struggling with major illness, injury, and chronic disease. I did not wish to become part of your sorority. Our youngest was diagnosed 16 months ago with a serious chronic illness. 9 ER visits later and 1 major surgery later, thank God he is doing well. We did not stay at the Ronald McDonald House. We stayed in the hospital and supposedly slept there. While I walked those hallways, I met these moms, many of whom were Ronald McDonald House moms. They are, in my mind, superheroes today. Let me say, they are a sight to behold. Do not mess with these mothers. They will walk through walls for their children. They will fight and win any war, and they will get what their children need. And they are here today, many of them, to say thank you to this house for helping to do just that. This is the home for those moms, also for those dads, for those kids, and for their siblings. I don't know what could be more impactful and meaningful in the traumatic moments of a life when you have a child at such risk. So I say, God bless Sandy and Debbie and the entire staff and the board for their tireless work to double the size of the house that love built so that that yellow folder goes away and there is no more a waiting list. I'd also like to say during these complicated times when we hear a lot of the bad news about our beloved city, we need to celebrate the good and cherish the positive moments for Baltimore City, for the region, for the country, and for the world. This is one of those moments. Each of you here have my gratitude for being part of this journey, and I want to thank you for allowing the Weinberg Foundation to be part of this journey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Gardner. I'm 14 years old and I have been coming to the Ronald McDonald House since I was 4 years old. Each time I've stayed from 3 to 6 months. I think it's been 1,000 nights altogether. I have TARS, thrombocytopenia absent radii, and von Willebrand's type 1. I go to the Reuben Institute at Sinai to lengthen my bones and give me independence. So far, I've had 38 surgeries in my life. As the Ronald McDonald House has grown, so have I. And I have met so many amazing people who have been there from the very beginning, like the McDonald's owner-operators, and very new friends, like the great people from AbbVie. On behalf of all the children, past, present, and future, I'm happy to introduce Tracy Haas from AbbVie.
You're welcome. Thank you, Elizabeth. Wow, what an extraordinary group of children. Emma, Elizabeth, Toby, Greg. My heart, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through this. We are so honored to join you here today. Children are truly one of the most rewarding and fulfilling joys in life. And as parents, we only want the best for our children. But life doesn't always work that way. Some families are challenged with the unimaginable, and we've heard a lot about that this morning and this afternoon. And sometimes, most often, this is the most challenging time in these families' lives. Providing families with a place to stay close to their children and a caring community makes all the difference. Because by giving a family a home away from home, Ronald McDonald House keeps families together. You provide the courageous service each and every day, and that is exactly what AbbVie strives and aspires to support. Last August, we made a very significant donation to Ronald McDonald House Charities because we believe that to help a child, you need to help and support the whole family. We know that families need care, support, and compassion in their journey, and everything that Ronald McDonald House Charities does is in pursuit of that same goal. But we also know the needs are growing, and that's unfortunate. But that's why we're delighted to support your expansion here in Baltimore, which will enable you to serve more families in need. These families need the support that only you can provide. And I've done the tour, and it is unbelievable what was accomplished here and the home that was built. Our hope is that every day as kids and parents return here from the hospital, that this home, this Baltimore house, provides them joy and a little bit of relief. Thank you for letting us be part of your journey. And on behalf of the 30,000 AbbVie employees around the world, please know that we are so grateful for the work that you do. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your Ronald McDonald House family. Thank you.
You get a sense of the courage that is involved in the people who come here, the heart that welcomes them. This next couple that I want to introduce to you is both ends of the spectrum. They came to Baltimore praying for a miracle. Their miracle did not appear in the form of their child's life being extended. They had to part ways. Their miracle appeared in a heart as big as the one you see on top of this building. Like so many families that come here, they come back because of the gift that they were given and they give others. Love really is the most powerful force in the universe. And Erin and Sofia Wilson are proof of that, as you will find out.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm so happy. We were here at the groundbreaking a couple years ago, and just to see what has come of this is just amazing. My name is Erin Wilson, and this is my wife, Sofia. We're from Berlin, Maryland. Our lives completely changed with our 20-week ultrasound for our baby, Noah Luca Martin Wilson. He is the reason we are here today. The doctors told us that they saw an abnormality in his heart and that he had no tricuspid valve and that he would have to have 3 major open heart surgeries by the time he turned 6. He had 2, but that alone is enough to deal with. Sofia's health was also failing. And with all these obstacles in our way, I wondered, what are we going to do about our other children, let alone trying to figure out what my financial obligations would be. I was overwhelmed with worry. I said all that to get to the other reason we are here. Without the caring touch of the Ronald McDonald House staff and the warm-hearted volunteers, we would not have made it through. I knew that I could get back to work and have my wife in a safe place, not having to worry about how I was going to afford a hotel, what are we going to do about food, parking, and all the other expenses that rack up while a child is sick. Noah was born on October 2nd, 2014, and went home to be with God 9 months and 20 days later. He spent his whole life in the hospital, and we were able to stay close to him at the Ronald McDonald House. Losing our baby will always be the worst single thing to ever happen to us, but with the love and support of the Ronald McDonald House, we made it through. Sofia and I are blessed to have this wonderful, I call it my family. I just want to say thank you for everything, and we're honored to be here for this momentous occasion. Even today is hard, but I refuse to bury my head in the sand. I'm smiling because I know that's what Noah would want from us. And without Noah, I would have never met this cool guy here. It's a part of my healing. And for all of us who've lost a child, we view this house as a happy place, a place of love and comfort, and a place that remembers and celebrates the life of our child. The Ronald McDonald House, Baltimore, was founded in honor of another child, Billy Ehrman, who passed away in 1978. Today, we are honored to introduce Billy's big brother, Joe Ehrman, to offer a blessing on this house. Please welcome Joe Ehrman.
It's good to see you, Joe. Good to see you, too. Appreciate that. That's beautiful words. Well, I am
overwhelmed with the reality how much we need each other, how much we belong to each other, and how much we affect each other. I think when we come together as a community, the birthing of that is a vision and a hope that's otherwise not attained. And the function of hope is always to keep present realities open for future possibilities. All of us need the hope that's produced when we come together in authentic community. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you, and I think every one of us was called here today. We didn't just decide to come. There was a calling of the universe, and on our own inward journeys, we need to kind of explore that in our relationship and connection here. You know, as we transitioned from East to West Baltimore, a lot of memories moved as well. And I have the pleasure of acknowledging four members of the original board of directors. And I want to start with Dr. Jay Levinson. Where's Jay? Will you stand up for a minute, Jay? Jay really had the original vision for this house and really brought together, and it was out of the integrity of who Jay was and his commitment, he started to bring other people around the board. And I think the success of the Ronald McDonald House has always been its board of directors. It's been the integrity, the vision, and the commitment to serve families and children that separate this from just about every other nonprofit that I know. I want to recognize Anita Nucci, who is really the First Lady. Will you stand, Anita? She did the first Ronald McDonald fundraiser in 1979. 78, she did it, and has been involved in everything since. So you are really the heart and soul of that. And then Eddie Wingrat's over here. Eddie from Fancy Flowers. It's just wonderful to see all the people here. So, and I do want to acknowledge Bill. I don't know another man, I should say, that balances the challenge of leadership and power with the humility, love, and tenderness that Bill Padarakis does. So it's a real tribute to you, Bill. So I always think of, when I think of the Ronald McDonald House, I think of the story of the Hebrew patriarch, Jacob. Jacob found himself in a desert one night out in the wilderness, put his head down on a rock to sleep, and had a dream that night. And in that dream, he saw this ladder, a ladder extending from heaven all the way down to earth. And on that ladder, he saw angels ascending into the heavens and descending down to earth. And when he woke up that morning, he built an altar because he recognized that this had become holy space, sacred place. Whenever God's angels touch earth, there's a transformative power. There's a spirit of hope and community. And he built an altar that morning. He called it Bethel, the house of God, the house of love, the house of hope. And that's what this is. It's really the house of hope, the house of love, and certainly the hope, the vision as well. So basically what we've done is taken the ladder from West Baltimore and moved it over here to East Baltimore. The same angels are ascending and descending. This is sacred space. It's holy place. It's where hope is birthed and nurtured and comes to fruition as well. So I want to thank every person here, and I know I'm standing between you and heat. So I'm going to ask you to stand for a moment. I'm going to give you just a little bit of a mandala to cement this day. Mandalas are physical objects of some spirituality. So I'm going to ask the last person on each row, last person there, the last person here, the last person here. And I'm going to ask you to start. And this is the ladder. This is Jacob's ladder. This is the ladder of hope. It's a ladder of community. The ladder that affects each and every one of us. And what I like to do is get that last person to just take that ladder and pass it down the row, each one of the rows. Take the ladder, receive it, and then give it to the next person. That make sense? Did I confuse you right here? Well, there we go. Take the ladder. right, everybody got the pass ladder? Thank you, RJ. All right, now I'm going to ask you to take your right hand and just point it toward the house. Now let's just pray. And I recognize we come together from many faith traditions, many understandings of God. But today we come together as one family, brothers and sisters. So God of the universe, we pray that you would continue to bless this sacred space, holy place. May it always be a place of love and hope. May it be a source of community where people come together, affecting, belonging each other. So we do thank you, God of the universe, and we love you. Amen.
Judging from the way we passed the ladder, thank God none of us were involved in the actual construction of this house. I want to invite my good friend, Ryder Marsh, up to the stage. Ryder, you may have known from some of the videos, is the quality control engineer from the groundbreaking to today's celebration. And Ryder's been around the house for a long time. And Ryder, everybody sees the big bell over here on the stage. That's the good news bell. Tell us about the good news bell. What's it for? Use your mic. I sound like a parent. Use your microphone.
Okay, now it's on. So what the good news bell is it's a bell that's hung outside the front office at the Ronald McDonald House, but now we've got it sitting on the stage. And so when you ring it, it tells everybody back in the office that there's been good news, like you've been cured from cancer, or you get to go home, or you got good news at an appointment, or even if it's your birthday. And what happens when you ring the good news bell is everybody from the office comes running out and celebrates with you.
Awesome. So, let's celebrate some good news with Ryder, shall we? All right, so we're going to have ringers.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it. We're going to have ringers. Ryder's going to be a ringer, and throwers. I'm going to invite some ringers up to the stage. We have some official ringers. Bill Padarakis, please come on up here. By the way, if you wondered why Bill was the chair, as you look at the group of people who are involved, you look for people who have that certain sense of intuition and intelligence. Bill's the only one smart enough to wear a winter jacket and a hat. That's why he's the chair.
Yeah,
come on
I'm
up, Bill.
freezing out here.
Campaign chair, Chuck Langmead, come on up. Baltimore City Council President Brandon Scott, come on up. I know, I will. She's managing me too, trust me. Yes, ma'am. Lieutenant Governor Rutherford's up here. Mayor Young's up here. From the Weinberg Foundation, Rachel Monroe and Amy Klein. From AbbVie, Tracy is up here. From the RMH Board Chair, Melissa Nigro. Melissa, come on up, please. You'll be one of our ringers. The Building Committee Chair and Chairman-elect, Tim O'Donnell. Come on up. The Founding Father, Joe Ehrman, is here. Representing the House, Debbie, Susan, and Sandy from RMH. Come on up. Representing the McDonald's owner-operators, Chris Mann and Tom Baxter. Come on up, please. And representing the Ronald McDonald House Charities Global, Sheila Mussolino. And most importantly, all the kids from the Ronald McDonald House, come on up here. We're going to ring some bells. Councilman Stokes, please come on up. And anybody else from the City Council who I overlooked at any point so that I don't get beat up later on social media, please come on up here. Okay, now, inside your bags, you will find a confetti stick. Please follow these instructions better than you did with Jacob's Ladder, or we're going to have a mess on our hands. When I say go, you're going to pull the white plug out. You'll hold it high in the air, and then you're going to give it a wrist flick. And that's going to set the confetti loose. Take a minute, get your confetti stick ready, figure it out. Everybody have it? Too confusing? It's blue now.
There's no way. They just flick it. You just flick it.
All right, all you have to do is just flick it really hard with a flick of the wrist when I say go, when we do the countdown, okay? Does everybody have that? Right out of the gate. If you weren't so good looking, I'd yell at you, but you're gonna get away with this one. So you're gonna hold it high in the air. When we count it down, we're gonna flick it. Bell ringers, are we ready? Ryder, you at the bell? Yeah. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go! The house that Love built is open for love. Will our choir take us home?
There's been so many things that held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we got a long, long way to go, and where we end up